Alright, hello. You are probably here because of the main Get a Snack video, obviously. You're looking at the speedrun guide. I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. It's going to take a while. I'm basically going to explain everything beforehand and everything in this run in specific. So anything that I explained in, throughout the video at the halfway part of the video, like door luck clips or, driffle ending, right? That's not going to be talked about. The only things that are going to be talked about in this video is the current route, and that is it. There's not going to be anything else talked about outside of this current route. I'll explain how to do everything. I would suggest watching the main video first if you have not and you are interested in speedrunning this game. I'd also suggest joining the Discord server if you'd like. If you want to look for time saves or optimizations, feel free to join, or if you want to run the game, go ahead. This is my 25-25 run. This is currently the world record 12 hours or 11 hours before the Get a Snack video releases. I'm doing this before the video releases, and I'm going to explain everything in this video. So, this is just what I personally do. I'm going to explain how I would do everything, but I'm obviously going to explain the route. Now, this run does obviously have time saves. I will clarify just about everything. I'm not going to go through all of this. I'm not going to rewatch this entire thing, but I will sit here for a good chunk of it. Now, before I do continue further, I'm going to make sure my cursor is captured, because I forgot to do that last time. So, basically what you want to do is grab 20 cash here. Now, here's the first time loss. You want to grab the 20 cash instantly. And then you want to grab the 10 cash right here next to the orange, and you want to grab the other 10 cash in the fridge and the soda, and then collect these 4 cash on the couches. You don't need to grab the 1 cash on the left right here. You don't need to do that. So first thing you want to do is enter the store. You don't want to grab any cash outside beforehand because cashier's dialogue is going to take a while, and it's best if you do this first. So once you enter the store, immediately leave, grab the 10 cash right here, and then grab majority of the cash over here. You got to make sure you grab like everything but 1 ticks. You'll be fine. You'll have 65 cash. And once you give the soda, you want to press F and E. Now, I did explain this in the video. If you press F and then E like a couple frames later, you're going to save half a second from having to wait for cashier's dialogue to appear again, his prompt. So if you do this, you're good. Now, you want to stay where I kind of am. You don't want to be like... You kind of want to be in this position, maybe at the corner, and you just want to have quick reaction time. You want to spam E, immediately get out of the store, put the soda in like that. You could probably do the soda easier, and you're basically going to do this process 7 times. How I like to do this route is I like to take all the sodas that are outside of that fridge with the rest of the sodas, and you want to then grab all the rest that are in the fridge. So I'm going to grab everything outside of the fridge, but eventually I'll grab everything in the fridge. So this is the first phase of Flooded, by the way. You want to do the first phase of Flooded first. You don't have to. I like to do it because it's not necessarily the hardest part of the run, but it's the most complicated part of the run, right? I like to open the fridge right here while I'm getting the last soda, basically, for the outside parts of the fridge. And, yeah, you're basically just going to grab a soda from the fridge, keep doing whatever. Now, usually you would finish in about 2 minutes and 15 seconds, right? That's probably like the perfect time you can get, maybe 2:14. I did mess up at the start. After this, you immediately want to shoplift and grab the orange juice here, because that's the quickest thing you can grab. You can really quickly drink it, but this doesn't do anything. I've tested a lot of things where if you try to move outside of this, it doesn't work. I've tested it with many things. It does not work, so don't attempt this. Well, you can, but nothing's going to happen. The best Flooded Phase 1 is a 2:42, so I lost 2 seconds here. I imagined losing a second in the first place, but another second, this game is pretty optimized, By the way, I should have mentioned at the start of the video, FPS unlockers and auto-clickers are not allowed in this run. If you are trying to clip out of the map using an auto-clicker, that does not count. The run is invalidated. If you are using an FPS unlocker, it is also going to invalidate the run. It is most likely you hit Shift F5 to make sure that your FPS is set to 60. I mean, it should be, but if you want to know how, that's how. I like to set in my settings, I like to set my FOV effect to strong and text speed to fast. FOV effect is not required, text speed is. You need to make this fast every single time. Now, you don't need to do this for the entire run, but when you're on the second phase of Flooded, you want to turn on dialog box GUI. I almost forgot here, you want to make sure it's on. And the reason why is I'll explain it in a minute. Because you did the first phase of Flooded, the vending machine is now in your room. You want to grab 1 cash here, grab a soda. You want to place this on the plate, and then immediately grab the chips. Now, I've already explained this in the Get a Snack video, But just to clarify more, I do want to discuss everything with this run. As soon as you exit the door, a little tiny bit later before you can see again, you want to click the chips. You kind of want to time it in a way, because if you eat it too early, you might wake up dad and trigger the chips ending instead of, sleep, or you might just be slow while making your way to the manhole. You want to do it like that. You want to interact with the manhole, and you want to immediately go back in the house. Now, usually if you sit here at the manhole, you have to sit here for a minute before you can move. But how this game works is that if you eat the chips, if you eat or drink anything, your walk speed will be set pretty low and then back to 16. So if you're in here, for example, stuck at walk speed 0, once you finish eating the chips, you will be able to move again. Now, the prompts are going to be a little bit messed up. You might be able to use both prompts, because usually there's a prompt to go inside here. But because you, for some reason, ate the chips, it doesn't show here. But you can actually hit the prompt inside to go back outside. So if you do wonder why you go through the door and it just takes you right back where you were, that's the reason why. You want to grab the 20 cash, and you want to grab another soda from your room. Now, instead of placing it, on the stove as like a little spot to optimize stuff, you want to stand out here. Halfway through the manhole's dialogue, he stops talking, and for some reason your walk speed is set to 0 right now. If I tried moving, I couldn't. And for some reason, if he starts talking again, your walk speed set to 0 again. So you need to wait a few seconds. It's best to pretty much enter right before he's about to talk. I wasn't perfect on it, but you want him to start talking like here, because you usually move right here. So you basically have to do the route like this. Then you put the soda on the stove. You are able to open the fridge. I'd suggest doing that because if you lose about half a second right here, or 1 second, you're fine, because you're going to grab another soda from the vending machine, and you are going to want to stand here for a moment. So I had about half a second to spare, right? Now, you want to go to the store. Now, again, I'm not going to explain, the driffle route, how, instead of doing this, this is the example where both prompts were hit, so I went in the store, but I also went out of the store. This is fine, because cashier still needs to talk, and I was able to grab 10 cash from the store and 8 cash here if you want. Now, you want to grab a soda, and you want to place it. Now, you want to grab the orange juice, because I already explained this in the video. If you click the orange juice right now, the game thinks that you've drank it. Obviously, you haven't, because it didn't do any effects. You didn't drink it. It didn't show you drinking it. You didn't buy it. Nothing happened. But for some reason, when you drink, you're just going to kind of... the game already considers you've drank it. So if you go get toothpaste, it counts. You get Ultra Death. Now, you want to buy the soda. Cashier's going to take a few seconds to talk. You want to throw this away. I like to spam E, and then right before you throw it away, or right around at the same time, you want to spam F to grab the soda. Now, you might not pick it up instantly, which is fine, but you'll be able to maybe pick it up half a second to a second later. So maybe this was a bit of time loss, but if you don't spam F here, you have to wait for dialogues. You have to... What am I saying? You have to wait for cashier's dialogue to stop. That takes about 10-15 seconds. Big time loss. Runs over here. You take the soda. You run back. You give the first soda to the manhole. And you do this process 2 more times. Doesn't matter which soda you give him here. You can give him the soda that's 15, Robux or whatever, 15 cash. But whatever. You're going to want to buy 3 sodas from him in total. And I suggest doing this whole orange thing first because it's a little... Just might as well get the orange juice done with. So once you're done, right, you want to go into the house, and you want to take the 3 sodas that are in the kitchen right now, 1 in the fridge, 1 on the plate, and 1 on the stove. You should grab it. Now, I don't know if this saves time. I've seen Zom did this in a run. You could go up here just to maybe save like a quarter of a second. It's not like you do this many times in a run, though, like 4 times. And you basically want to get 3 in the kitchen and 3 in the vending machine. Now, instead of me just straight up going for all of the sodas in the kitchen, I do for some reason kind of go back and forth on this and get sodas from the vending machine. You don't need to do this, and I don't think it wastes time. You might as well do it. Once you're done, though, you should be able to, get all of the sodas in the manhole. You want to go back in the house, and you want to go in the bathroom. Now, I accidentally clicked this. I had the mailbox RNG. This did not end the run, thankfully, but it screwed around with me for a bit because I couldn't get this off my screen. Now, if you hit Control and get a snack, your mouse will be locked or unlocked, so you can actually move your mouse around. If I hit Control, you'd be able to move around and click off the note. I didn't do it for some reason. It was in the moment. Don't hit left alt, by the way. If you ever play this game, do not hit left alt. Do not alt tab, because autoplay will happen, and runs invalid, you know, unless you want to go for autoplay, because the record is free. You can literally get the record like 3 minutes faster than what it is right now. Anyways, I kind of like shot in the dark here because I didn't actually know if I was, you know, sleeping. But yeah, because you ate the chips earlier to save time, you are eating the chips for the sleep ending because you need that, and you are also getting Ultra Death, in which your time is stopping. I think the best time I've gotten is a 4:38. I don't know if it could be optimized anymore, but the best time I have gotten is a 4:38. So you want to click the toothpaste, and just make sure you want to be looking in the direction I'm looking. You basically want to look in the direction of your your trophy collection, because if you chug the toothpaste, you will be, all you have to do is hold W and press E, and you are not interacting with dummy. You sit here for about 2 minutes. I have my, you know, I do Shift F5 so you can see my FPS. You want to retry here. You're fine to rejoin the game every time. I suggest you rejoin. I don't know why you would retry every time, but you want to make sure that you retry, because when you retry, you are going to be on the third phase of Flooded, and every single thing does not work in this game. None of the items work, except you can collect cash, the orange, and the vending machine. Now, if you rejoin, the sodas will go. There's not going to be any sodas in the vending machine because it gets set to 0 for some reason. But if you retry, your sodas will be set to 2 in this case, because there's 2 sodas in the vending machine. This is what I mean by the you know, note actually being almost true for once. It did almost troll me. You want to grab 1 cash, get the soda from the vending machine, and you want to place the soda on the stove. You want to turn on the stove, immediately turn it off, and grab the soda as fast as possible. Try to make sure to grab it while this is still red. You want to place it back on and turn the stove back on. Now, you want to sit here until the house begins to beep. You know, I don't think you have to do it when it beeps, but you want to make sure that the house catches. You know, you want to make sure it's on fire. So it gets kind of loud here, so I'm going to turn it down. And I'm also going to hope that the game hasn't been too loud. So you want to go outside, and you'll notice the flooded trigger has not happened. It hasn't triggered, right? You know, there's no soda on the ground. There's no dialogue. There's no music. There's no soda in the sky. There's nothing. Now, if you enter the store, dialogue still works for this guy. I don't know why, but it's a good thing. You want to stand near the door here because you will not be able to move once you get the ending. The best house fire time that you can get is a 105, I believe. So I actually lost 5 seconds here. So overall, so far in this run, I've lost about 7-8 seconds. But I'm not going to say that for every segment. I'm going to say it at the end of this video. You basically want to have Cashier talk for a minute. You want to enter the freezer. Now, usually when you enter the freezer, you get the flooded ending after a couple minutes because Cashier talks, right? But for some reason, because you broke flooded, you instead get the freezer ending, meaning, wow, you just got the freezer in 1:05 seconds, or 1:10. And you want to retry again, because there's 1 more soda in the vending machine, and you basically want to do the exact same thing that you've done the last run. Grab a soda from the vending machine with 1 ticks, or Robux, or cash. Sorry if I say Robux, I mean that is cash. Place the soda on the stove, immediately turn it off, place it back. You get the point. Now, instead of waiting here, you want to exit as fast as possible, because now you want flooded to trigger, because you want the flooded ending now. So I got a better house fire here, I'd say. I still lost, you know, 2 seconds. But regardless, if you enter the freezer, Cashier will talk, and you will get the flooded ending. Anyways, longest segments of the run is done now, unless you're counting post-game, which is after the main ending. I like to do the new triple ending, also known as Cobb, which is chips, orange, and breakfast. How to do this is pressing, you know, grabbing 1 cash and grabbing a soda. Now, you want to take this soda. Now, I'm going to explain the easy route for this and the hard route. There's not really a difference between the two, but the hard route saves about half a second. It's not worth it. I'll explain why in a minute. I did the easy route. Place the soda on the drink spot, which is F. Grab the chips and go outside. Do the same strat as last time. I'll let you listen to time it, because you want to go outside, eat the chips a tiny bit later, enter the store once you're fully able to move around when you're outside. You don't want to immediately go back in the house, because you'll for some reason be slow, and you know you're not going to. So just listen closely. This is what you exactly want to do. Listen. Something like that. If you did that, you are fine. You want to take the soda in the fridge. You want to place it on the E spot, which is the plate, because it's the only remaining spot, and hit orange. You heard the door open earlier, and I have dialog box UI on. For some reason, this triggers chips without having to go down the hallway, and you just did breakfast and orange. This is a triple ending in 28 seconds. I will now explain the hard route that for some reason is way more harder and saves half a second. Instead of placing the soda on the drink spot for F, you place it on the E spot. Because if you do this, and you grab the soda from the fridge, you would place it on the F spot right here, and then grab the orange. Now, if I were to get the breakfast ending right now, before grabbing the orange, you can't grab the orange. Even if you're in its proximity, if you are able to grab the orange, you can't. Once you get that breakfast ending, once you hear that theme play, you cannot do, like, anything in this game. You cannot eat chips. You can't do anything. So anyways, if you, for some reason, do this, the first ending you get is breakfast. Literally just sodas. So this would save you about half a second because you triggered breakfast slightly quicker. This probably doesn't even save half a second. It might be less. But still, the best time you can get on this is 28, I think. Maybe 27, 27.6. I don't know. So after you do this, this is where the game is pretty much simple from here. The last ending that you need is Toothpaste. And the fastest way to do it is literally just doing it on its own. Just hold W and A here, spam E, go in the bathroom, grab the toothpaste, chug it. That's it. You can get this in 10 seconds. I got it in 11. I don't know how to do it in 10 seconds. So there you go. You leave the game again, right? And now you want to go for sleep and ultra death. It's kind of like the same thing as the second phase of flooded. However, instead of it being ultra death, it's main ending. So you don't need to grab any cash in this run. You want to grab the chips, though, because you want to get the sleep ending. And you basically want to, you know, eat the chips like that. Once you eat the chips, you go in the store, you grab the orange juice, make sure you click it. I lost 2 seconds right here because I didn't actually remember if I clicked the orange juice or not, and I didn't want to lose the run here. So usually, you would place it on the counter once you can, and then you'd exit the store. I did that, but I was a little worried that I didn't actually trigger the, you know, ending or trigger the orange juice. So once you're done with that, you want to go into the kitchen, grab the toothpaste, and just get the sleep ending. You want to eat the chip. You want to sleep right here, and once you do, wait a few seconds. Look at the same direction as the trophies. Trigger it, walk forward, and now you have, you know, main ending. So I got the main ending in 11 minutes and 21 seconds. That's kind of it. You want to rejoin, and you want to get the... This is post-game 1. Now, you want to kind of hold A and W here, I believe, because that is the direction you're going. Or maybe hold A and S. I don't know. Definitely A, though. And you want to sit here. Now, something I'll clarify is you want to look where I'm looking right now. Because when you get teleported outside of the house. You can't enter the house. You're going to be looking the direction the store is. You want to enter the store, grab the orb, leave with it. Now, you can try to leave right here. I was a little too late on it. I wouldn't suggest leaving very early, though, when you do this, because I did that, and I had to redo this first part again. I lost the run. I didn't actually lose the run. I was just messing around. But you don't want to do this unless you want to, for some reason, save like a 1/10 of a second, a 1/4 of a second. But that probably doesn't even matter, because I don't even think this game adds up in milliseconds. Maybe I'm wrong, though. The way this game works is odd. So anyways... you do the same thing again, except this time you need to throw the orb away after about a minute. You want to look the direction I'm looking. You want to look right here. You see, you probably, most people can't see. See, I even noticed it in the video. You want to point at the corner. You want to spam E here, throw it away, done. I didn't leave the game that time, but I left really quickly. This is where the run is pretty risky. You don't have to do this. So what I like to do here is turn off dialog box UI, make my text speed fast and my FOV effect weak. I don't like it when it's strong, because you want to focus more in on the game. You will not be in first person until, like, a bit of the way through. When you hit play, you want to basically hold W. Now, this bulletin board, if that's what it is, you can just go through it. Don't worry about it. You want to pass the chair, and you want to fall off right here. If you fall off right here, you will save about 9 seconds, because instead of having to walk to the convenience store, you immediately are there. That is it. I like to be as left as possible here. Not left as possible as in all the way over here, but more of as soon as I enter the store, because I think this saves about a 1/10 or a 1/4 of a second. I don't know. I'll explain it in a moment. So most normal people would walk forward here and go to the road. I don't know if this saves time, but if you walk forward here and cut this corner, and you can go through this, by the way. If you fall off here, you might be able to save about a quarter of a second doing this. Maybe a tenth of a second, I don't know. But it's no more than half a second. Now, I don't think this is the best post-game 3 that there's been. But this is definitely my first 11:08, because this is what the time ends up being at the end. This is kind of the route I did, and you kind of want to just make sure you're really cutting the corners, right? Now, there is 2 things you can do here. One is easy. One is, I would suggest not trying this. First one is to go past this tree. Saves time. You don't need to go right here. Saves maybe fourth of a second, half a second. You want to kind of like be on the edge right here, just to kind of really cut the corner. Here's the second tree. Do this if you'd like. Cert did it. He's a madman for it. If you really decide to do this, go ahead. You're going to lose the run basically at the end of the game if you do this, but it saves you about a third of a second. It's up to you. I didn't do it. Anyways, you get to the obby section. I was a little worried because something you can do is you can jump right here. I was a little hesitant because I thought I was going to just walk off a little early. You could try this if you want. You can risk it. I nearly fell off. So this is also a risky thing I did. Usually people go to the left side here. I blew it, man. And jumped a little left here. You don't want to land on the tree. And then you want to jump here and take the orb out. Maybe the hitbox might be a little quicker. You're done with the game. Congratulations. You have gotten whatever run you've gotten. Complicated video. I tried to explain hopefully everything I can. This is not going to be edited, like, you know, the main Get a Snack video. This won't have any cuts unless for some reason I sat here not knowing what to say. And that's it. That's the entire run. Make sure you don't use autoplay at any given point in the game, because then it's an autoplay run. So don't alt-tab. That is your worst enemy here. Anyways, that's it. I don't think there's anything else I really need to explain here. I hope to see you with a 25-minute run. Maybe a sub, 26. It'd be nice, There's only 2 runs right now. Maybe technically 3, because I did 25-25 and 25-40, I think. There's going to be a lot more runs, hopefully. This is 11 hours before the video comes out. I don't know if this video is going to blow up the main video, but go ahead. So yeah, that's about it. I got this in 11 minutes, 8 seconds. But before I do stop talking, I do want to explain the segments that I've lost throughout the run. I lost about a second at the start. Well, technically 2, because the best flooded phase 1 you can get is a 2:42, so I technically lost 2 seconds. I lost another second during the second phase of flooded, because I was 1 second off of my fastest. So I'm 3 seconds off. I lost 8 seconds total to house fire, so that's 9 seconds of time loss, and I believe that's it. Actually, no. 9 seconds of time loss, 10 because of, certain segments here, and then 2 seconds here. It's about 12 seconds, and, maybe just unoptimized movement here, I've lost about 13 to 14 seconds. That means this is a 25-12, 25-13. Does that mean 25-0x is possible? Is the bounty even obtainable? Probably, maybe. I don't know. The game is very odd, because if you were to add every time up, even if it's seconds only and minutes, or milliseconds, and you add up every time here, you are not going to get a 25-25. You're going to get something completely different, and that's because this game's time is bugged. It's not bugged, but it's odd. I don't know how it works. But, if you get the perfect run, it might just be a 25-09 for some reason. Plus, I made a bounty on the first 27 1x run, or something like that, and then the first 27 0x, and then first sub 27, and here we are with a 25-minute run. It is possible that out of many people that see this game, they're going to find some bug out, and it's going to be a mess, hopefully. I hope sub 25 can happen. I don't think sub 25 is possible. I hope I didn't say that in the video, because it's not possible. But hey, first 25 0x run, I think it's barely doable. And if somebody even finds a 3-second time save, you are going to get a perfect run. So regardless, I think it's nice to, speedrun this game. It's fun. And I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry that this is like a 25-minute explanation. I mean, I did make a video like this, a guide on this video, for my 25-40, like 2 days before, and it was a little bit longer. I'm glad I summarized this quicker, and I'm glad I explained more things, because I now understand everything. Whatever. I'm going to end the video now. Have fun. Yeah.